How did you decide to live on a boat? How do you accomplish everyday tasks living on a boat? And hey, what about pets living aboard a boat? These are the kind of questions we get asked all the time. And today I'm going to take a few minutes to answer the most frequently asked questions we get about the live aboard life. The number one question we get is, how did we decide to live on a boat? Well, it's really sort of by accident, and we're going to go into a longer answer to that question in one of our upcoming videos. But I will tell you this, we bought a boat about 7.5 years ago, our first boat. We immediately fell in love with the lifestyle. Then we bought this bigger boat about 5.5 years ago. And at that time, we decided that once we were retired, we wanted to live on the boat and go on big adventures that we can't really do right now when we're living in a marina while Tom is still working. When we got our first boat, we were actually living in the California desert, and the boat was here in San Diego, and we came here every weekend. So when Tom was offered a position here in San Diego, it was just a no-brainer to move on the boat. We loved the lifestyle. We didn't really care to purchase San Diego real estate at that time, and we just thought it would be a fun adventure and a great way to live out Tom's last few years before he retires. And we'll see if we still retire in the boat. We probably will, because we want to go on those adventures. People also want to know what kind of boat we live on. Well, most of you watching this know we live on a trawler, and we picked this specific kind of boat because we just love the big open spaces. They're just so much more roomy than other kinds of boats. They have more storage. We also love the classic look of an older trawler. This is a 1988, and we really like the lines. We really like everything about this boat. And trawlers are very good live aboard boats for the reasons I mentioned above. It's really like a little floating condo, a little floating tiny home. I've noticed people are fascinated with things like, how do we do day-to-day tasks on a boat? Where do you store your groceries? How do you do your cooking? Well, honestly, it's very similar to what I would do at home. Now, there are sacrifices I make. For instance, I'd love to have a juicer, but there's just not enough room for something quite like that. Other than very specific devices, like I used to have everything in my kitchen in a house, I still have the main things I used to cook. I have a microwave, I have a toaster oven that's also an air fryer. We use a NutriBullet as a blender. We have an espresso coffee maker. We even have an induction stove. So I have all of that. I don't have 12 pots and pans. I have one skillet and one big pot and one small pot. You know, I just don't have the same size or the same quantity of things I had in a house. In terms of groceries, I would say I wish I had a normal freezer, like a full-size refrigerator and freezer that you didn't have to defrost. That would be a huge blessing. So I'm low on freezer space because the ice box gets all iced up and I have to defrost it. So I don't tend to buy a ton of frozen food. As far as the refrigerator space goes, we have plenty of space because we actually have 3 refrigerators on board, one upstairs and the 2 down here. We've got ample space in a pantry for all our groceries, and we also have plenty of space for plates and cups, wine glasses, and all that. So we really live like we did in a house, just on a smaller scale. People are also really curious about having pets on board a boat. When we first started the boating lifestyle, we actually had 2 dogs. Some of you remember Rowdy, who passed away a couple years ago, and Miss Rosie was only about 6 months old when we got our first boat, so she's been a boat dog, most of her life. And it really, I think she enjoys her life as a boat dog. What do you think, Rosie? Uh-oh, she's growling at me. She loves looking at the birds. She loves flirting with all the people that walk by the boat and barking occasionally at other dogs. She loves to go on walks around the bay, and it's been a great lifestyle for her. I really think she has a blessed lifestyle for a dog. And she's got lots of fans, lots and lots of fans on the docks. We use a puppy pad up front so that we don't have to take her out every single time. So it's really nice. First thing in the morning, last thing at night, we just send her up to the front, the bow of the boat, and we say go potty, and she goes and does her business. We feed her down here in the main living area, and of course, what would you expect? She sleeps with us. We've talked before about living a minimalist lifestyle, even though I'm a maximalist. And it wasn't like we decided to do this because we wanted to live a minimalist lifestyle. It's because we wanted to live on the water. We wanted to live on our boat, so we didn't have a choice but to be more minimalist. So Today I passed a store of, for instance, West Elm, and I thought, I haven't been there forever because there's just nowhere to put more stuff. We've decorated the boat. I love the way it looks. I don't need to be going to Home Goods or West Elm and Pottery Barn buying more stuff. There's just no place to put it. So I shop a lot less. As we've mentioned before, we do have storage units with clothing and other household items that we've got to figure out a way to get rid of those eventually. I wasn't quite prepared to part with everything in my life when we made this decision. So we do have things in storage, and that's one of my least favorite things about the liveaboard life, is going and finding things in that storage unit. One thing I like about the minimalist lifestyle and living in a tiny home is just, it's easier to stay organized and to find things. If I can't find something in about 5 minutes, it's probably just not here, or it's hiding in a little cubby hole somewhere. Honestly, it's really quick and easy to clean this place up. It's also pretty quick and easy to mess it up, but the good news is it cleans up quickly. And we have grown to really like this minimalist lifestyle. We're also frequently asked how living on a boat has impacted our social life and our relationships. I have to say, this has been one of my favorite things about the liveaboard life. Our lives are so rich with friends and acquaintances, neighbors on the dock. We have closer friends now than we ever have before, I think because we're around each other so much. You know, when we lived in, for instance, in Texas, we might see our friends once a week or twice a month. Somehow in this whole boat life, you end up seeing your best friends literally all the time, and so the relationships grow a lot quicker. And we just couldn't be more blessed by our neighbors here at this marina and at our old marina. We think that our relationships are wonderful and our social life is filled to the brim. I've been asked, what are the differences in our daily routines living on a boat compared to in a house? I would say the daily routines are very similar. Since the bathrooms on a boat are really small, I tend to just stay out of the whole master area while Tom's getting ready for work. It's not like we have double sinks and all that, you know, so that's one thing that's different. I spend less time in cleaning and upkeep. I don't have as many bills. It just takes a lot less organization and time to effectively run a household on a boat than it does an actual house. Have we faced any unexpected or unique challenges since moving aboard? Someone just asked me this the other day. I would say the challenges are small and inconsequential. I'll give you an example. Right now it's starting to rain. If I need to go somewhere this afternoon, I've got to walk in the rain with an umbrella, albeit, but I have to walk a long way to get to my car. So anytime it's raining in San Diego, to me that's just a challenge. I don't enjoy it, although I know we need the rain. So yeah, just challenges involving space. For instance, I keep a big pot on my induction stove, and I don't really, that way I don't have to have a space for such a big pot taking up room in one of my cupboards, so it just lives on the stove and I think it looks fine there. But if I want to use a skillet to make some eggs, I now have to move the pot somewhere else. So I find that there's a lot of shuffling around of little items to accommodate other items. And it's a little inconvenience, a little bit of a challenge. It would probably drive some people absolutely crazy, but it doesn't really bother me too much. I'd also say that doing laundry is a little more challenging. We do have a washer dryer combo on board, but I have to do small loads, and I've noticed jeans, for instance, come out really wrinkled almost always, so I just need to hang them up and let them dry. So laundry is a little challenging. One of the challenges we always have to be cognizant of is just safety. And if you've watched a lot of our other videos, you probably know I've broken 4 bones in the past 5 years, all boat related and stairs on the boat related. So yes, I'm clumsy. Rosie's making little noises in case you hear funny noises in the background. Yeah, I'm really clumsy. I've broken my tibia and fibula coming down the main stairs of this boat. I've got to break no more bones. Also last year, about a year ago right now, I fell in the water late at night when it was freezing cold and pouring down rain, and Tom had to rescue me. So those are a couple things that have happened that keep me on my toes, so to speak. You know, you just always have to be a little more careful living on a boat and in a marina than a house. I've also been asked for advice from others who are considering this lifestyle, and I'd say I highly recommend it. If you hate camping, you're not gonna like living on a boat. It's sort of like camping. You know, you're in a smaller space. It's like RV camping. So you don't have all the luxuries you might have in a home or a condo or whatever. But if you love the outdoors and you love the water, then I think this is a lifestyle you'll love. And especially if you find Just the perfect boat for you. We highly recommend it. Let me know if you have other questions I didn't answer in the comments below, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. I thank you for watching the See Y'all Life today. I hope you'll subscribe, and we'll see y'all soon.